Yes, we were welcome back to another episode on That Gunners Talk. And today we're here after Arsenal pick up a massive 3-0 victory at the Emirates to really kick off our home campaign for the Champions League. But nonetheless, I'm here with the man, KP. KP, how you feeling today after that big win?
I'm feeling how my twists are looking. Excellent. That's all I'm going to say. Excellent.
It feels great to win, honestly. Obviously, it's always great to win and beat a team that has been considered over the last couple of years one of Europeans' elite sides. No, I know they lost superstars like Mbappe, no more Neymar, no more Messi. A bit of a different side, but nonetheless, always good to get a victory against top tier European opposition, and that they expected to come in here and do us a job. We know Luis Enrique is a really, really good manager, so it just feels good to normally get the all 3 points and take it on, because you see other teams in this group stage section got big results. Barca 5-0, Dortmund 7-1. So teams are putting up high score lines. So all we could do is get the 3 points and move forward and look forward. But KP, touching on the game before we really break down, deep dive the game. Lineup wise, well, we kind of both predicted the lineup, but you kind of went with Jorginho. I went with Partey instead. It ended up being Partey in that midfield. Talk to me about that lineup, and then talk to me about how the game started off and your opinions about that first half in general.
The lineup was probably as expected. I think I said it after the Leicester game, despite me going against my preview, that Mikel's probably going to start the same team, and I don't mind it. Like with me, if these lineups, like I don't mind our squad now. I think I'm confident in every player. So if it's down to injury or just rotation, if someone's stepping in, I'm not really like, I don't want this guy to play. Like everyone can play. Everyone brings something different. So yeah, Jorginho, Partey. I think Partey had a good first half. I think both on and off the ball, especially off the ball. I think his ball recoveries were excellent. He wasn't rushing play. He was keeping it ticking when he needed to, and then breaking the lines when he needed to. Obviously, it wasn't like Arsenal dominated possession in the game as you could see in the stats, as we'll show shortly. But I think it was a good performance, mature performance. Like we put the physicality onto PSG. We pressed them. We played our football, created our chances, and scored 2 lovely goals, in my opinion.
And you can see a development and maturity within this side. I want to take it back even to last year when you play Bayern Munich at home. You play even Porto. When you're taking on those European teams that have experience in Europe. Now I know this is our not a second year back into the Champions League after being out of it for like 7-8 years. Getting back to the Champions League, playing good football, and you have a half like that against a side that is notorious for getting far in the Champions League. You want to really come in, dominate, do your job, and get the game won as fast as possible. And today I want to touch on a few performances, but nonetheless, I want to talk about, first of all, Bukayo Saka. Absolutely outstanding. Scored another goal for us, 2 goals, 5 assists. I know that for his record, that's 6 goals. I think that's contributed to 8 goals in 6 games at the Emirates in the Champions League. Absolutely outstanding for another good Bukayo Saka performance. I think he's been playing absolutely outstanding. If we could see Bukayo Saka continue to keep this format, because I think he started the season absolutely on fire. The way he was giving their left back hell all game. Nuno Mendes was under it all game, shaking him in and out. And then the free kick, another lovely delivery by Saka, something we've come to expect this season. It feels like every time he has a set piece, it's going to be a really, really good opportunity. But hey, listen, I call the goal scorers, man.
No, I give it to you, Steph, man. Before I even get into Bukayo's praise, I give it to you, man. You close to the scoreline, but I'm even happier with the scoreline because of clean sheets.
Definitely at nil. Always
the goal scorers. You said it. You said it in your preview. You said it when we talked. You said you believe Saka and Havertz, and it was literally them. But to talk on Saka, first of all, it's lovely to see him wearing the captain's armband and living up to, what it comes with it. Like the way he plays, especially with Odegaard being out, he's taken the ownership of the creativity. He's taken the burden of like, I'm going to drag us up the pitch. I'm going to be our best player. And just, he has this demeanor about him this season. Maybe it's from that time in Euros when he kind of, did the whole, he's come with this, I don't know, like, it's just, he doesn't seem like, don't call me Starboy no more. Detach that name from my name no more. Like, this is
Starman.
Starman. Even like the Starman, like, he looks different. Like, and I love it still, to be honest with you. Like, I really love it. So shout out to Bukayo Saka. I think it was a game where Arsenal handled their job. Like if I pull up the possession stats from the game, for example, and you look at like look at it on paper. If you're a player, if you're somebody that didn't watch the game, you would think, oh, like Arsenal didn't play that well. Like you can see, 35% possession the whole game, 6 shots to Paris Saint-Germain's 10 shots. You know, to think about that second half as well, where we kind of regressed in terms of possession, but we never really looked like ever conceding. Really, I think it was
to
a
be
good.
honest, KP, that is credit down to the manager and those sets of players. The biggest critique you can give Arsenal over over the last game was you have a dominating half like that against Leicester. You're up 2-0 at halftime. You drop the lead and you have to fight back to come back in the game. You should have put out of sight by halftime, honestly. You get yourself in the same position today against better opposition. What do you do as not only your players, but as a manager? How do you manage the situation? And even though we came under a little bit of fire, let's be honest, I don't feel like we were ever really under that much pressure that we thought we'd be like, let's concede. It was comfortable.
Like
Really,
what
comfortable.
Arsenal done to PSG was we little bro them. Like if it's in terms of the making them play in the areas we wanted to, because yes, the possession stats look at that, but we let them have the ball majority of the time between their centre backs and stuff. If it comes down to Gabriel Saliba just marshalling, well, they didn't really have any presence up top, but marshalling, the ball out of play, just recycling the play. It comes to David Raya claiming his crosses, Declan Rice just recovering, different amounts of play. Same with Partey as well. Martinelli and Saka running and jumping in into the defensive shape. Yeah. If you're tuning into the stream, obviously with me and Steph, obviously hit that subscribe button, smash the like button down below.
Hit the like button.
Jump into the comments as well. Don't worry, we see you press and loud month. But continuing just what I'm saying as well, like I think Mikel talked about it in terms of Champions League. You're never gonna have a game where you're gonna, unless you're you're facing less opposition, where you're gonna dominate the whole game. You need to be able to take your moments, impose yourself on the ball, but also be able to soak up possession. I think Arsenal have become this team that we can do everything. Like, this is why I put in the thumbnail, are we becoming the best team in Europe? Like, I want to ask you that question. Of course, you need to win the trophies, you need to win Champions League, multiple prems to kind of, undisputably have that title. But just looking at it in terms of, we've seen a lot of games now where Arsenal have adopted a defensive approach. Arsenal have adopted defensive approach within games and never really looked like conceding, bar, a mistake, a magic goal, James Justin, a deflected goal, John Stones. Not trying to say that we can't concede goals. And then when you look at when we want to play some football, we have segueing a player in our front line, a player that's, our striker, that, I don't know, Steph, man, he's looking like a different kind of guy. He's looking like a guy that is ready to, maybe get 25 to 30 goals this season. And that man is none other than Kai Havertz. Your opinion on this guy's performance today, man?
I want to touch on 2 things you touched on. First of all, let's touch on the Havertz performance. Havertz, that's 3 goals in 3 games. I can't give you the stat off the top of my head. I think that's
something about like he's the first player to score in, I think, like 5 or 6 home games in a season, like since like some playing like the 70s or 60s, something like that. So
listen, Kai Havertz has been in amazing form. Now, I know for a lot of people he might not be good on the eye test. He might not be like a top striker, like people might think, the prototypical top striker. But you can't fault a man that has been putting ball in the back of the net. I've said it from the back end of last season. Havertz has been playing so good at the number 9 position. He's found his home there. He's scoring goals. He's getting assists. He's getting linked up in the play. He's winning his headers. He's giving Mikel that other option, that other dimension up top. When they were talking to someone about moving him to the 8, nah, don't do that. You have a player that we've been trying to fit in for so long. Keep him at the number 9 position. And again, bravery, great cross from Trossard. We could talk about Trossard's performance, because I thought Trossard first half was absolutely outstanding for first half. Especially the assist for Kai Havertz. Great ball in by Kai Havertz. Brave to going for that header, to be honest with Donnarumma, who normally is good at claiming crosses and getting the ball out of the area. But great from Kai Havertz to risk his body and put his body on the line to win the header. And then touching on what you said, KP, are we becoming the best team in Europe? No, not a lot of teams have went to City over the last couple of years and gave City problems that we've given problems. In a league title race, when Liverpool and City were neck and neck, they were calling Liverpool one of the best sides in Europe. So, I mean, yes, Liverpool won the Premier League title and won a Champions League title in that run. We haven't managed to get over the line yet, but this is still a young side. This is still a progressing side and a progressive manager. when you look at what we're doing in Europe now, the development over the couple of years, KP, how I seen us go in Europe and lose games, throw away games. We're now going to Europe, slapping teams in the first half, getting out of there with a clean sheet and 3 points. And that's the maturity I want to see from Arsenal, because we should have beat Bayern Munich last season. We were better than them over the stretch of 2 games. I think it looked like nerves got to us and the moment got to us low key that we couldn't really put the game to bed, especially in that first game. I thought first game we were better than them, but
Yeah. First game, I agree. That second game, I didn't like.
Second game, it was the flow. But I'd say this: look, listen, man, we are a really really good team. We're a really good team. But like you said, you gotta have the trophies to back a statement like best team in Europe.
And I think we'll get there. Like I only pose a question just because I feel like obviously we live in. I think you said it in your video, that David Villa video. Go check it out on Gunner Street. He said something about we live in a trophy verification period where without certain accolades, people don't get the credit.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I love this performance is because we saw us in the same situation on Saturday, 2-0 up.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to compare the opposition because Leicester and Paris Saint-Germain, the game state was different, but where you can easily concede a goal, and PSG had a chance. I think it was like that swerving shot from Chan, and a moment, I should say, for example, and that I think the chance from João Neves that flicked off the bar. Any of these opportunities could have changed the game. But you see with Arsenal, we just said, you know what? You have to realize we're just trying to get our 3 points. It's a league in this terms of Champions League stuff. Get our 3 points. We're up. We don't need to exert too much energy. Move on to Saturday, and that's what we've done. And just to speak on Kai Havertz, I think because he's so intelligent, he can be used in the midfield. I don't think he's a midfielder, but in terms of some of the things he can do in the midfield, they're beneficial. And I think that's why Mikel likes to play in this kind of 4-4-2. Rotation type of, 2 false 9 types, because Kai is so interesting. If you saw from his goal, he started from a very, very deep position and made his run, to the blind side of the defenders, and they couldn't really mark him because that's just the guy he is. And I believe he can get, 20 to 25 goals, even 30 goals this season. He's already on 5 goals in all competitions, I think it is, or 4 goals. Let me not even give him a goal, but he's looking good. And him and Bakayo started well. And I'm just proud of the boys, man. But I'm just happy that we were able to exert our dominance, and it doesn't necessarily need to be, on the pitch. So everyone that's in the chat, smash that like button. Thank you for
smash the like button. Like you said, it helps the video. We're growing. Show us some love. Show us some love.
Steph as well. Obviously, with the game being so comfortable against PSG, like obviously maybe if Dembele was available, maybe it could have been different. We got to see the debut finally of this man.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you could tell that he was a bit off the pace in terms of just physically. He hasn't had the preseason from the moment he's left the Euro, so I always give him the benefit of the doubt. But you could see some of the things, like in terms of the comfortability on the ball, a couple of tackles he put in there, and just in general,
energy.
It's nice that we know we can embed him in. We can bed him in and get him up to pace, even just after international break. He's not, having to make his debut. He's already made a debut, and he can go straight into the paces of things once we hit after international break. What did you make of Mikel Merino's debut, or just any thoughts on him?
In general, I know, like I said, it was a difficult circumstances. He came into the team, didn't really get to show offensively too much. Obviously, we were defending normally in the stage where he came on. I thought he provided a little bit of energy, provided some comfort on the ball, getting us out of real dangerous parts of the game. But nonetheless, I'm expecting a little bit more from him moving forward once he gets the legs under him, once we see him in a bit more progressive situation. I do know a lot about Mikel Merino in terms of him running that channel on that left-hand side of midfield. So there's a lot to expect, especially cannot wait to see Mikel Merino with Declan Rice and Odegaard. I think that lineup would be really, really progressive, and we would really see Mikel's fluidity and team come together. Like you said, Timber, we could talk about Timber, who I thought had another impressive game, and him coming into this squad, he looks irreplaceable, honestly. He looks irreplaceable.
Like Steph.
He looks
obviously,
irreplaceable.
Just reading Udi's comment down here, Loudman Football. Obviously, he said Timber's vital to the squad succeeding, and the end of Ben White hype. Obviously, just answering the second part of his comment, I don't think Timber. I don't think Timber, which I believe he's becoming the starting right back at least. Anyways, I think that he was always brought to be that anyway, so it's not really a surprise. But you need a squad where you have multiple players in multiple positions that bring in that quality. You can't. We've seen where we have an elite first team and then a bench that don't have the same level of quality, and then when injuries or form or rotation is needed, it can't happen. So that's something you have to say. Obviously, I did make a video at the beginning of the season before the season started saying Timber is the missing piece, and in my video, I specified that if he was available, I think those 2 points that we didn't get the league. I think there's game, because you just in this game, obviously. First of all, his defending 1v1 is some of the best I've seen, especially against wingers. Like, even if he gets beat, his recovery is good. He's tight to his man. He's never slow to the press. Then on the ball, Steph, the shoulder dropping.
Brilliant.
The guy is gracious. Like
I'll say this, KP. Coming into the game, Barcola is the Liga top scorer. Now I know that doesn't say much for a lot of viewers out there, but again, he's stepping up in place and scoring goals for a team that's playing at a high level. That is a player that is on form, and I've seen some about Barcola. He's a very, very, very good player.
Yeah.
For Timber to come in and win every tackle, win every do, win everything, and keep literally him quiet all half until he left the pitch. Absolutely outstanding. Now talk about Ben White. Back to Lord Move's comment, back to Yudi's comment. Where does Ben White get back into this team? Because I don't think Calafiori's place is full on solidified, but I do think Calafiori does bring a lot to this team. That Mikel Arteta is very impressive.
I think it's solidified, Steph. I think it's solidified. I think
really
Mikel showed it. Like, it's the first time I've seen Mikel ever show his hand properly in his presser in the preview. Someone asked him about having Timber right back, Calafiori left back, and he was like, "It's nice to have a right-footed player right back that's attacking, and a left-footed player left back that's attacking." And I feel like the first opportunity he was able to do that, he did it, and it's been providing dividends ever since. Like, Timber's a baller, so I think. But for me, you have to realize when we get to peak game weeks, when it's 3 games a week, and you have Aston Villa at home, and then Champions League quarterfinals, you're gonna need Ben White to rotate with this. You're gonna need Tomiyasu, which I think people forget about.
Yeah,
so I'm not really worried about that. Yeah, so I'm just comfortable. I'm happy as well. Lewis Skelly was able to get his some minutes as well. Obviously, albeit minutes as well, and obviously Wanyeri didn't come on, but we can move forward to just a quick word on Saturday, going into the Southampton game before we read some of the comments that's been going on in the chat. Yeah,
we could touch on Saturday. What expectations do you like? Because I mean, all of us expect to beat Southampton. We beat PSG. We beat other teams. Me and you are both probably going to predict a comprehensive victory against Southampton. They concede a lot of goals. They concede a lot of chances. It'll be unlucky for Ramsdale because Ramsdale's gonna have to face the brunt of it.
Hey, I bet you we saw Hermanson on Saturday have a game of his life, David De Gea. I know Aaron Ramsdale.
He's gonna try to have it, but it won't happen.
He's gonna sleep at 6 p.m. Friday night. Make sure he's fresh and ready for that game.
Doesn't matter. He can't stop the smoke coming his way.
I love Rambo, but no disrespect. But I think for me, I just want to see a few rotations. Maybe the likes of Sterling, Jesus, maybe Wanyeri from the start, Jorginho. Like, just we don't need to, because obviously I know Mikel, the kind of guy he is. There's a lot of break from Tuesday to Saturday. We don't need to, but I would love to see a few of these players that I especially didn't get opportunity today. Obviously, just get a few minutes, get some starts, and then if we need to bring on the starters, maybe Merino, not Merino start, but heavy Merino minutes. Not too much rotation, but I think
probably Merino might get a little bit.
Given that Sterling didn't come on today, Wanyeri didn't come on today, Jorginho didn't come on today. To me,
we'll probably play a weekend
at home. We should be able to rotate a few players and give that.
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. I think that lineup would be exactly what we do see. I think we'll see a lot of changes to the teams, like you said. Wanyeri coming into the team, Sterling coming back into the team, Ben White potentially coming back into the team. He has to fight first place if he does get a place in, whether that be at centre back. If you
I think Ben White is gonna be out after international break. I have a feeling, Steph. And sometimes I call these things like I haven't seen him in training. And I'm not saying I don't think it's like his injury is so crazy. I just think they probably just, with how Timber's playing, Tomiyasu coming back, maybe potentially on the bench.
But you know what it is, KP. I'll also say this. I don't know if you remember back in the last season, they were saying Ben White was playing through a knee injury. He was he was fighting through it just for the sake of the team. So I guess potentially,
that's what I'm saying. But now, especially now that we have the cover now, it's like we can allow him to fully recover. Maybe even if it takes him a couple of weeks off, just so he can fully get that rest, because he actually didn't get that last season because we had Cedric as his backup and Tomiyasu out, which obviously.
But like you said, we could go back to end. I don't know if you want to end on this. I do want to end on that conversation because I feel like we touched on it, but we didn't really get into the crux of are we becoming the best team in Europe. KP, our depth is crazy now. Our depth, when I look on the bench now, it makes me feel way better than it used to. Even just at the start of the season, when I looked and saw 3 left backs at the start of the season, 1 attacker, You're looking at it thinking, "Raw, bro. Starting the lineup, got to get it done. If not, then it's going to look shaky." I was thinking that a lot of times last season, and he started this season before the signings really got in and embedded and fully got the feet running. Now, when you look at that squad, everybody's starting to slowly come back. Moreno, Tomiyasu as well. You're starting to get different players coming back in. Sterling, Waneri, and getting into the team. Lewis Skelly emerging into the team as well. You have youth, you have experience, you have height, you have physicality, you have technicality, you have good understanding and know-how of how to win football matches. We're going to be a dangerous team, KP. I'm not gonna lie, we're definitely a dangerous team. But trophies, it's always gonna come down to trophies for a lot of people outside of the fan, and even within the fan base, we still have people that are Mikel Arteta out to this day. I don't
Yeah,
understand
of
how.
course. And obviously, our squad can always still get better. Like, there's always still players that we can add into this squad, this team to increase our level, increase our overall quality as well, especially in attacking areas, midfield as well. So it's never the end. But I do agree with you. The squad is quality, and I think we're seeing through each game a level of maturity, a level of a level of class that I feel like Arsenal have started to show. And just long may it continue, man. Long may it continue. So I'm just happy that we've got to a stage where our club is so good that we can trust. I think I tweeted, I can trust when my team's off the ball. I don't feel no pressure. That's crazy to feel. Like, where before,
1000%.
a couple of years ago, anytime Arsenal were on the ball and the teams were attacking us, I was panicking, man. Like, because of some of the clowns we used to have playing for us. But don't need to reminisce in those games. Before we leave now, we'll just get into some of the comments. 453 Presser says, shout out to Gabriel. He was solid today. I do agree with him. Gabriel was was quality today in defense as well. Same as Saliba. I think they were both quality.
1000%.
There's a point here. Obviously, loudmouth going to the post that says, why is Weghorst his favorite number 9? I don't know if he's trolling. He also says, why are some United fans comparing Amad Diallo to Saka? Diallo is a very good player, but
good player, but come on.
It's good. People should use Saka as the benchmark, but you have to realize to reach Saka's level, it's going to take a long time.
Like, I don't understand how Saka is used as a lot of people's benchmark. Like, Saka hasn't been clearing all the players for a long time.
Because he's one of the best players in his position, one of the best intelligent players.
He's been clearing a lot of these youths for a long time, bro, and still not getting the respect he deserves. Been clearing these youths for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. But everyone, that's been our reaction. Obviously, Steph, you can take away. Hit the subscribe button to this channel, both of our channels, K-Pad Pauser and Gunner Street. Hit the like button on these videos. Comment down below your thoughts as well, how you feeling in the game, and we'll catch you guys probably on the next video, whether that's a preview to the Southampton game or any other content that we drop, all based and all around Arsenal. Steph, anything you have to say?
Yeah, same thing. I repeat what KP said. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, both of us are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Likes help massively. People hit the like button. Show us some love. Show us some support. We have lives going on here. We're after the games. We go live on Mondays and Wednesdays. Special live today because we played on Tuesday, but we like to keep it for you guys. We like to give you guys the content you guys deserve and you guys like to see. So continually hit the like button. Show us some love to the channel. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for being with us, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.